Hi, is this Warden Patterson?
Yes.
Hi, this is Kaainoa Fernandez. I'm a student journalist at UH Manoa.
How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. How can I help you?
So I'm working on a story about Daphne Ho'okano.
Okay.
She said she worked with you for a long time, and you guys did a lot of work together. And I just wanted to ask a couple of questions about her and get your thoughts, and yeah, if that's okay.
Sure.
Okay. I just wanted to know how you guys first started working together.
What do you know about Daphne?
Basically everything. Her story as an inmate, and
Okay.
coming, doing her healing and helping other people. And yeah, she told me a lot of her struggles and how she
Okay.
came to be
needed
today.
to know. Okay, we'll do this then. I was the warden at the women's prison
Yeah.
at the time. So Daphne, there's several hundred women there. So Daphne came across my I noticed Daphne because we started a program called the Prison Monologues.
Mhm.
Did she speak to you about that?
Yeah.
It was kind of something new. It came from a creative writing class by a Miss Pat Clough, who comes from the mainland and teaches this class. And basically, it was women writing about their stories in poetry form or just telling stories. So we had an idea to do it like a monologue, okay? So you stand up and you just do the stories of different women and whatnot.
Mhm.
We had such a success with it inside the prison. People were saying, we should go outside the prison.
Mhm.
And so Daphne was one of the first ones involved in that. When we went out, there's supposed to be a video of that somewhere. Anyway, the first group was always the historical group because we did about 4 years after that we were still going. But it was at La Pietra.
Mhm.
So that's when I first started noticing who she was and what she was about. Yeah.
Yeah.
She was going through the Hinamalka treatment program at WCCC called Kealaula.
Mhm.
And she was very successful there. And I think we transitioned her out into T.J. Mahoney's, where she eventually was paroled from. And then I know we did a lot of work with her while she was outside in the development of a halfway house
Mhm.
with the Methodist Church here in Kaainoa. And I don't know if I'm answering your questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what did you notice in her? Because she kind of mentioned that you and her did a lot of outreach kind of work, and going off to the mainland, different trips. And so I want to know why her?
Don't. I'm asking because you gotta refresh my memory. Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, so WCCC was in what we called when I was there, we did it. We started something never before done in Hawaii in a prison called the Trauma Informed Care Initiative. Yeah. So we were part of something that was being funded by, or in partnership with the National Trauma Informed Care Center, from Washington, D.C. And because we had this huge initiative going on, we're training the staff, we're changing the way we do things, and we're programmed. And Daphne was a leader in the prison.
Mhm.
I think she was out. We were invited to bring a team to Baltimore to present our program. and I was allowed to bring. I wonder if that was the one she was on. Gee, I don't even know if that, because there were several times that we sent women to the mainland, and I know she was sent as a representative to talk about what had happened to her journey while she was there, on a national level. Sorry, my memory's kind of.
No, I know it's actually kind of far back.
Yeah, and so that was her part. She was like, one of the first women that I threw out there publicly in the state and nationally. That was a product of the new system that we created at the women's prison.
Yeah, because you also
of transformation. Yeah.
You also introduced the concept of kind of creating the prison as a place of healing.
Yes.
And so, do you think she kind of encompasses that concept?
Yes. Because she participated in everything that we were creating at that time, and she was being a leader for others to follow. Yeah.
Mhm. And what did you see in her? Well,
I think that there was a part of her that, like most women, there is that. A lot of them have the historical trauma, that put them in a position where substance abuse or alcohol abuse became the norm, to deal with their trauma issues, and that eventually led to issues in the criminal justice system, So once we, and what normally happens is, once the women comes to terms with their trauma and develop coping issues, because most women don't want to deal with the trauma, don't want to remember what happened, and so we had to develop programs that would allow them to break the walls down so that they can face their worst fear, so that we can begin to heal them. And so she was one of the first ones that understood that concept. And so while she was going it, because she was going through it and she was being successful, she was able to pull other women along as well, Because it's never a journey. It's never when we talk about healing and transformation in a prison system, we're talking about how do you, in healing, you turn away from the substance abuse, And you begin a lifelong journey of coping with what you could not cope with before. That's why you did the drugs. And so that was she was one of the original women that had gone through that system we've created within the prison and had graduated and moved on and is still successful to today. And the fact that she was helping women that were coming out of prison as well.
Yeah. So she was actually allowed to go back into the prison, right, to help and talk to women?
Yes.
And how was that important to the women in the prison?
Well, it's important for them to know that there are women like them that have gone through the same thing that they've been through, similar traumas, the drug abuse, the alcohol, had a reputation on it, because Daphne is a tough girl. And then to see them go out and be successful, and, be reunited with family, and still be sober, women need to have those role models,
Yeah.
And nobody understands the women better than themselves.
Yeah.
And it's easier for a woman. One of the success in transition is to have a woman that you did time with help you to be accountable for your actions. Because if anything, the women that have done time will tell you is that they can tell when somebody's lying.
Yeah.
Been there, done that, and so the big secret to the healing and the transformation process is the ability to transition back into the community and be successful. Because that's where it really gets hard. Is trying to get back into the community.
And
is a role model. Go ahead.
How does that make you feel, knowing Daphne is still sober and working with the Halfway House, and she's graduating this semester with her master's in psychology?
Well, I think that it's awesome. I'm really happy that I've always seen myself as providing opportunities for the women there and now the children here that they've never had before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because once you can provide them the opportunities, then you can show them, in a mirror sort of sense that you've had the potential all along. You just never had the opportunities,
Mm-hmm.
and there were things blocking you from making that transition to be successful on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
You should be able to define. They should be able to define success on their own terms, and
Mm-hmm.
not by somebody else's.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised that she is being successful, but I'm happy because she had the potential all along.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm happy for her and others
Can you?
as well.
Yeah. Can you say the same about others? Have there been, Hoy's recidivism is really high. What are your thoughts on why she hasn't come back or is keeping her from coming back compared to other people?
I think a really firm understanding of what her issues were. Yeah, grabbing on to the reasons why she drank, why she did drugs, and coming to terms with that, and then how does she deal with that on a day-to-day basis?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. A lot of women, that's one of their biggest problems, because if it's not the drugs or the alcohol, then they cope with it in terms of relationships, especially for women, yeah. And a lot of the women end up in bad relationships. So relationships, alcohol, drugs, all of that, will stop a woman from being successful.
Yeah.
In transition. And we talk about recidivism rate. I've been gone 3 years already, so always be careful when you talk about recidivism. Okay, and understand the definition of recidivism. I think public safety defines recidivism as 2 to 3 years upon release, and arrest with new charge. Yeah.
Okay.
You might want to do some research on that, because every state, every jurisdiction has a different definition of recidivism.
Okay.
So a woman can get out on parole. She can violate parole and go back to prison. That's not recidivism. Okay, recidivism has to do with committing a new crime.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the understanding you have. Now, and whenever you hear recidivism rates, it's normally, you have to check the data on the year that number is being thrown out, and then it's normally done. Let me give you an example. You wanna quote the most recent recidivism rate. So if there's recidivism rates right now, say recidivism is normally, because you gotta wait 3 years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if you want to follow up on the 2014 or the 2013 recidivism rates, you gotta wait 3 years and then boom, do the research. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're not gonna get the 2014 statistics until 2017.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you're quoting 2017, you're actually quoting 4 years ago.
Yeah.
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 So that's what I always tell people when they start quoting recidivism to me. What year did you get that number from?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I understand that, because even the legislature, they'll quote a number from many years ago.
Yeah.
But whenever you do quote recidivism, it's minus through 2 or 3 years. Yeah.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
So we be careful about that. But when I got to in 2006, I got to the women's prison. I left in 2014. So when I got there were 300 women at the prison. I had about 175 in Kentucky, and another 100 was in the federal detention center, all because of the overcrowding. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the federal detention center was holding my felony inmates. Okay. So by 2009, we brought the women from Kentucky home, because the programs The program started kicking in about 2008, 2 or 3 years later. Yeah. 2009, we were able to bring back the Kentucky women, and by 2011, we most of the feds was back in WCCC. When I left WCCC in 2014, there was nobody in the feds, there was no women in the mainland, and we were about 260.
Wow.
Yeah. So hardly anybody ever talks about that. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
But we felt that we were doing a great job in terms of keeping women, not so much in, but and Daphne was one of the role models on that. Is that we were stopping women from coming back. Yeah.
Yeah.
We were releasing more because of the programs, the healing programs, and the transformations that we were causing.
Yeah.
I'm kind of proud about that. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And
go ahead.
No, Daphne credited a lot of her transformation to you and to Women's Prison.
Yeah, I think they always say that, but I credit a lot of my staff. And my job is the easy job. The hard job is actually the women. They have to accept to walk that path and hit back into their life, yeah? But it's just us opening the doors and staff and guiding them through it, yeah? Yeah, some can be successful, some have a harder time. I've seen women tell the parole board will say, because 90% of the women have drug or drug-related crimes. So they'll get like 5-10 years or something, depending on the crime. And less than 5% were violent. Okay, they're all so. And the number one thing that the parole board tells them is you got to go to Hinamauka, substance abuse programming. I've seen women tell the parole board, no, I don't want to. I'd rather do my 10 years.
Jeez.
Yeah. And that's how deep some of the trauma is. Yeah. Because all the women are afraid to go into the substance abuse and have to deal with their trauma. Yeah. Because they make you relive it. Yeah. Yeah. And when I saw that, I was like, oh my God, why you want to do time? You can be out in 3 years. You're gonna do 10.
Jeez. Yeah.
And that's when I realized, we started working other types of little activities like the cultural pieces, yeah. Working in the lo'i, working in the fish ponds, stuff like that. We're working in the marsh here in Kaainoa, just doing stuff with the land on a cultural level that opened up a lot of girls, a lot of women in terms of their trauma and stuff. Then, at that point, then you say, okay, they would come up to us, okay, I'm ready for treatment now. So what do you think was the most like effective activity for the women? Yeah, there were several routes. One was a faith-based program called Total Life Recovery. Yeah, and then one was our community work lines. So there were women's. We had 2 work lines of about 20 women that went out into the community almost every day. Wow. Yeah. And part of that, I think. I'm trying to remember. I think Daphne was already in Hinamauka when I got there, but the operational community work lines are the ones that really sent a lot of women to Hinamauka that didn't want to go initially. Yeah, but I think the cultural programs. If you want to quote me on anything, just say the cultural programs. Okay. Yeah. Cultural and faith-based programs were the key to the success at HYCF. Okay. Yeah. Okay, sounds great. Do you have anything else to add about Daphne or any of the women? No, I think Daphne has there was always a characteristic of leadership already in her. Yeah. And it's not. Don't quote me on this, but just to give you an insight, there's a lot of women out there that were pretty successful at being criminals. Yeah. But they just get caught. Yeah. And it's just a matter of reinventing themselves. They still have the same skill levels, like marketing. Yeah. So it was always in there. she just got redirected.
Yeah, that's a good way. Yeah.
And and again, she's successful at it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time.
You know, I have so you can get a sense of the environment that we were in.
Mm-hmm.
In 2012, I did a TED Talk.
Oh, TED Talk.
It's on YouTube. So if you Google Honolulu TEDx 2012,
Okay.
Ward and Mark Patterson, I did a talk on the criminal justice system as a place of healing.
Okay. I'll definitely check that out.
Just something for you to look at.
Yeah. Definitely.
Okay, guy?
Okay. Thank you so much.
Hey, so are you printing this in the school paper?
Yeah, it'll be on our like a student produced paper.
Well, if you can't remember, I'd love to see the issue.
Yeah, definitely. I'll send you a link. I have your email.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much.